Last night I saw a car at the MGM, and it's a Cirque du Soleil show, and it was, wow, it was the best show I've ever seen in my life. Well, as you probably heard, a lot of Cirque du Soleil shows have like very unique stage setup, and basically you can't see the floor, and then the stage platforms move around, and they are all like acrobats and stuff. So they performed the majority, I would like, okay, well, a really big portion of the show just with the stage completely vertical. And they were doing it like, at first they did like a slope and it was like a mountain. They were doing like rock climbing, sliding around the stage. They did like completely straight and it was still a mountain, and people were at the top of the stage, like on top of the stage while it was vertical, like helping people up, like as part of the act, like you see your friends up there and they're like reeling you up and whatever. And then they had the best fight, which was all in water. So they made a vertical stage look like two sides were battling in water, and every single foot movement that touched the floor made a ripple, which produced a black outward circle into like the blue water, and it was absolutely gorgeous. It looked like a silk effect. I have no idea how they did that. It was just, I think it was a play on lights, and it was actually really beautiful. And at the end, when they were representing death, they shone this red light down all of the members, which was really amazing because the water still stayed blue and black and only the characters were red. Like, it was just, wow. Like, imagine like they're fighting in the water, but you see them from like the top, and they're performing like while the stage is vertical. It was absolutely incredible. The beginning of this show, I was reading about it before I saw the show, and they said that they jump down to like scare you, and they kind of do. In the beginning, they're like doing like acrobat stuff. The coolest thing is like when they're on the string thing, but you can't see it, and like they like release themselves and go down. But the coolest thing is like when they go up. Like, I don't know how, it must be a pulley system, but like when they go up, it looks like they're jumping slowly into the air, like gliding up, and then they hold on to something. I'm like, dude, that's so cool. And they were doing like a whole like village network kind of thing, where like they were like reeling buckets of water and filling the water and spinning in the air, diving into the crowd. It was like incredible. So they even did this part where they were in the desert, and this was very unique because they used some kind of sand-like material, and then they used this part of the story is that when the twin boy gets on the island, that how he sees sea creatures there. So he sees a giant crab, and then he sees a giant starfish, and then he sees a giant turtle. And it was actually like some humans dressed him in costume, and they did like an awesome job. Like, their movement was really funny. Like, everybody loved it, and the starfish was like incredible, and the turtle was terrifying. And the most awesome part about the beach scene, which I said the stage was covered in sand, is that at the end they tilted it and they let the stage empty off like all the sand like into the floor. And you can't see the floor, as I said. Like, it's lower than what the perception of the stage is. And they let it do that all the way until there was no sand, and then they turned it this way, and then they turned it into a fucking mountain. And then they did like the next scene like straight off of that. Like, they didn't even like close the curtains, whatever. They're like, no, we're just gonna continue, dude. It's like a continuous show, and it was like really good. What else did they do? Yeah, the sand emptying onto the floor was like incredible. I'm like, how the hell do they clean it up down there? Another amazing thing is that they do like, cause they're diving and stuff, and they're like on cords and ribbons, so they free fall themselves into the floor. And there was a couple of times, like in the beginning, they have like a boat scene where that platform stage was just the deck alone, like it was covered in wood, or it appeared to be so. And then it was covered in wood, but then they actually had like a physical boat, and it comes up, and then the bad guy is in it, and it's just like really awesome. And okay, so the most important part for the boat, which was probably my second favorite part of the show, was like how they showed the ship sinking. And how they did it is that they put this like sheen cloth across the stage, and it looked like it was a huge tank of water. Like I was under the perception that it was a huge tank of water until they ruined the, well, they ended the illusion by like moving the curtain back. And it was basically like, you see the ship sinking, and the little girl who's on, the twin girl that's on the ship, she climbs to the top of the sail, and then like it shows the water going up and she's going down, and then you know she's sinking, and then you see bubble effects. That's why I thought it was real water, because I've seen them do a water show before. God damn it, it's so loud. I've seen them do like a real water show before, and yeah, it looked like wow. It looked like so wow. Like everything is like dark colored, blue, the water effects, you could see it getting deeper and like more dark towards the bottom, and then like all the bubbles are like rising as people go down. And this one guy, he even like swam in the air. Like he swam in the air to make it look like he was swimming behind that like curtain thing. It looked like he was swimming in a tank of water. Like I was like literally like, is that really water? And then there was like bubbles like just coming up around him. Like I was just like, oh my god, this is so incredible. That was actually like so breathtaking. So as you know, I didn't really get to see fantastic fireworks because I decided to stay inside because of like being warm. But Ka made up for it, because at the end of their show, the bad guy, by the way, he wears a warrior skirt that in one of my Snapchats I show, which I posted on my YouTube. He's the bad guy. He's dressed, he has like a black ponytail. He's kind of like semi-shirtless, and he's wearing a black leather skirt, and it's actually really hot, dude. Like, is he my favorite character? Well, I really actually like the female protagonist, girl twin, and she has buns, and I also show you her costume. And yeah, like she's so gorgeous. All of her costumes are always reddish pinkish, and the boy is always wearing green. I'm pretty sure it's red is what they were trying to do. She has like these like blonde orange buns, and she wears them throughout the show, and like it's just her costume and her like that actress, that acrobat is like incredible. Like I'll explain why later. So anyways, there were fireworks, and the bad guy throws the thingy, and then all the fireworks start coming out. Like they were like full blown fireworks in the fucking theater. Like I mean like full blown fireworks. And it won't stop, and it's coming in from like all angles. It was like the most beautiful fireworks I've ever seen, like honestly, and it was like the closest I've ever been to fireworks. And I'm like, these people are fucking crazy, like this is so cool. And then they have like, okay, like imagine like a rotating saw come up, and it's spinning out fireworks into the shape of a star that's going like in a spiral circle, like over and over, and it's a huge ass saw, and it's coming up in between two groups of people, because the stage has like many parts of like movable pieces, and it's coming up, and that's like almost the ending, and then they just do a whole bunch of big other fireworks stuff. I don't really remember right now, but I remember that there are fireworks that are coming in from all angles in the stage, and I was just like clapping. And then they have like those really pretty fireworks that come up and like go like into like those pretty circles and flowers and stuff. Like I was like, oh my gosh, mostly silver and gold, but there was some pink in there. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So my favorite part of the show, and please cover your ears if you don't like spoilers. Oh my god, I cried watching it. It was just when the girl twin finds her true love, and he's this hot guy that's just dressed in like a clear outfit that has like some sequins covering like one leg and his parts. It's just really funny. The sequins are like, they're like sequins slash glitter slash diamonds. They're like white and red. And oh my gosh, they did like a duo, and like I had like a surge of emotions unlike ever before. I was just like so taken away by this. They were duoing like this dance, and at the end, well, they're on chords and they're like dancing in the air. They take turns spinning. It's very, very coordinated, so you know they're not just like spinning randomly. Like he's meant to spin there and then swing this far, and then she's meant to spin. Like it was beautiful. And then they go to the bottom, and then he takes the ribbons up, and then they take turns doing like these crazy ass acrobat shit, and people are like clapping, like people are applauding. Like, everybody loves it, and I'm just there crying. I'm like, oh my god, I feel so much love from this show. And they're doing really crazy stuff. Like, she's holding on to, like, one of his feet while his arms are in the ribbons, and then she's, like, upside down doing, like, a full split across the ribbons, and then he's just holding her hands, and he's just dangling free from there, and they did very, very, very impressive stunts, and a lot of diving. And the music in Cirque du Soleil, I'm pretty sure it's a made-up language, is my assumption. The music is incredible. I'm actually going to be listening to it a lot. A lot of songs, like, there were some songs I didn't like the Desert song, like, they try to make a little, they insert, like, a little bit of comedy in there, and they make, like, silly songs, but, oh my god, like, the female vocals are incredible, and they just, oh my god, they just touch your heart. And oh my god, my favorite part, that dance, and it was like never ending, and then I was just like, oh my god, it's like so romantic and cute, and like how they captured everything was just so, I loved it so much. And yeah, Ka was the best. I honestly don't know how anything else could beat it. It was just incredible art, incredible music. It was so emotional. It had a story. They had fucking fireworks. Like, I don't know. Can anything beat that? That was the best show of my life. And the whole crew, they worked so hard. They had a standing ovation at the end. Like, everybody stood up. I stood up. It's like crying my eyes out. Like, oh my god, this show is so beautiful. And yeah. Was totally, totally nice. If you can ever see Ka, you definitely should. Their theater is incredible. It was the largest theater I've been to in Vegas. And they did ironwork like all around, and the people play like inside of the ironwork. And as I said before, like they were like jumping up and down, gliding across like ironwork, and like doing buckets of water, reeling buckets of water across. And oh my god, the sound system in there is like, wow. Like the first time that I got in there, I was just like on my phone. I thought that I clicked something that made a sound come from my phone. Like I thought it was like coming from me. Like that's how loud and like around me the sound was. And just like Chris Angel's show, like every single time there was a burst of fire on the stage, somehow you feel like a heat wave on your face, which I know is not real. It's an illusion because the person in the front will probably like have like a super, super heat massive wave in their face. But yeah. Dude, you have to see Ka. Like, it was absolutely amazing. Okay, well, have a nice day. And I hope you see the romantic part of Ka sometime in your life. Cheers.